Yeah, it's real clear now. Yeah, Micah say I'm the dog, but you bark for clout. Tail wagging on live, just running your mouth. I don't know nothing, yeah, that much true. Brain offline every time you hit new. Trying to act slick, but you goofy as hell. Got slogans on loop like a broken spell. Repetitive content, you say it with pride. But bro, no bark, no bite, just hide. You the dog, more like a flea. Jump on trends, then beg for a seat. I don't know nothing. Clearly, bruh, that's your whole brand and your whole shtick, huh? Dog with a mic, but no real sound. Loud online, but quiet when found. Your subs just scroll, your views decay. Whole channel look like a throwaway. Micah in the vids like, look at me cook. But it's burnt ass takes and recycled hooks. Trying to be funny, but it's awkward and dry. That dog act tired, go lay down and cry. You make 10 vids off one small clip, stretch nothing for minutes, man, that ain't it. You say I'm the dog, yeah, mud on a leash. Pacing in circles, praying for peace. I don't know nothing, facts that's deep. Every upload feels like a low effort leap. Clickbait king with no real throne. Live stream talk, but dead when alone. Merch weak, bars weaker. Talk like a beast, but your ego cheaper. Say less, post less, do more, doubt it. Micah, we laugh, now we clowning around it. So keep barking, dog, but this ain't your yard. You bit off more than your weak rep can guard. Next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing, yeah, we guessed. Game over. Yeah, we guessed. Yeah. Micah in the vids. New bird, little bird, then you're weaker. You next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing. Yeah, we guessed. Game over. Yeah. You the dog, more like the flea. Jump on trends, then beg for a seat. I don't know nothing. Clearly, bro, that's your whole brand and your whole shtick. Dog with a mic, but no real sound. Loud online, but quiet when found. Your subs just scroll, your views decay. Whole channel look like a throwaway. Mike God in the viv. Look, grind, your grind, and your weak rap. Yeah. Next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing. Yeah, we guessed.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Shades Tube, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, February. No, what am I talking about? It's Wednesday, May the 21st, 2025. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. It will be in my comment area, and part of it is scrolling across that screen right there. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content tonight. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. All right, over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. Jermaine says, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Donate via a super chat, super sticker, or cash app at $ShadesTube. And membership is $4.99 per month. All right, if you want to purchase that. All right, guys. So tonight, y'all know this is Diddy trial day 8. A lot of stuff happened today. We're gonna do a quick summary, then go over little things. Then we're gonna move on to Chris Brown getting bail and Tory Lanez new information. And I have a story about a woman who had a pet monkey, and her pet monkey went crazy on her, you guys, and tore her entire face, not her entire face, but her face, some of her face, and started to eat it. So we're going to talk about that as well. So we'll get you something to eat, a drink, the bed, a chair. If you are at work, continue to do your job, or either, continue to do your job and watch me on the down low, either listen on the down low. All right? All right, let's get started, y'all. Let me go ahead and change this right here. I put my music on in the background. I got my gum in my mouth with my tongue. Shit. So I'm going to bite it. And we are getting ready to do this little live. Let me put this up here. Y'all, I hope y'all had a good day today. I definitely did. Long day today, though. The day seemed like a long day. I don't know why. It seemed like it was a very, very, long day today. Which is strange because usually it goes by so quick. But yeah, can y'all believe that the year is halfway over already? Can y'all believe that? It seemed like we was just, in the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and already half of the year is almost over. Because it'll be June soon. What is this, May? Yeah. I mean, this year is going by so quick, you guys. It's going by very quick. It's tripped out how quick everything is going. So let's go ahead and get started with this live. I'm going to find my banner. I'm just going to look for that real quick. And y'all don't forget, parental advisory is in effect. Explicit content, just so you guys can know that, okay? Okay. And this is Night Owl Talk Time at night. Okay. That's what this is, you guys. So let's go ahead and do Diddy's first, okay? Let me get my other phone for Diddy. So let's go ahead and do a summary on his day 8, which is a trip. I'm still trying to figure out why this trial will be lasting between 6 to 8 weeks. They must really, honestly, they must really have a lot of their own witnesses, because I'm just trying to figure out what could they be possibly talking about for, 6. Let me turn this down. 6 to 8 weeks. That's a long time. It really is. And I'm already, getting tired of talking about it, because I've been talking about this Diddy stuff since November 2023 when it first started. So that's a long time, guys. A long time. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a summary of everything for today. And then we will go over it and go from there. Hold on, let me find it. It's long today. So today, Wednesday, May the 21st, 2025, the Sean Diddy Combs ex-trafficking and racketeering trial continue with a focus on Diddy's alleged operations and the psychological impact of abusive relationships. Now, here is a summary of the key developments. Okay, so former personal assistant details cleanup operations. This is George Kaplan, a former executive assistant for Combs from 2013 to 2015. He testified earlier today after being granted immunity. He stated that a key part of his job was to set up and clean up Combs' hotel rooms after what prosecutors describes as ex-marathons or freak-offs. Now, this, you guys, involved removing empty alcohol bottles, baby oil, and drugs, and ensuring the room looked as if nothing had happened, all to protect Combs' public image. Kaplan also detailed working from between 80 to 100 hours a week for $125,000 a year. And he also said that Combs threatened his job a lot, even for minor issues like buying the wrong size bottled water. I can believe that because when he was on Making the Band, I remember him having those kids walk all the way across that bridge to go get some damn cheesecake. So I can believe that. Now, he also testified to occasionally pick up drugs like MDMA, the white powder, and ketamine for Combs. Now, Homeland Security agent continues testimony. They continue testimony on raid evidence. Special Agent Gerald Gannon of Homeland Security Investigations returned to the stand. He detailed items seized during the March 2024 raid on Combs' Miami home, including numerous bottles of baby oil and lube, high heels, ex-toys, ammunition, and various drugs like, I don't know how you pronounce this, psilocybin, and then MDMA, and then XANAX, and then the white stuff and ketamine. He also showed photos of two hand, you know what they are, and part of an AR-15, you know what I'm talking about, some with serial numbers scratched off. And those were found at his home. The defense attempted to downplay the significance of the firearms, noting some were unloaded or they did not work. Gannon confirmed the federal investigation began the day after Cassie filed her lawsuit in November 2023. So like we said before, me and Jermaine, we said that Cassie kicked everything off when she filed that lawsuit back in November 2023, when I first started to cover this. Now, they also had some expert witnesses on domestic violence and trauma. Dr. Dawn Hughes, a forensic and clinical psychologist specializing in domestic violence and trauma, testified as an expert witness for the prosecution. She explained the complexities of abusive relationships, including how victims often develop a low sense of self. They feel trapped and may delay disclosing abuse due to shame, and because of fear of not being believed or economic dependence. She also discussed how trauma can affect memory, leading to jumbled details or late recall. Dr. Hughes, who was paid by the prosecution, testified as a blind expert, meaning she did not examine or specifically mention Cassie or Combs, but her testimony paralleled many of Cassie's previous statements about her experiences. So, as we know, Kid Cudi is expected to testify later on today. Okay? Prosecutors allege Combs was so enraged by Cudi's brief relationship with Cassie in 2011 that he arranged to have Cudi's convertible fire BOMBED, okay? So, earlier today, of course, everything went on as planned. Prosecutors continue to build their case by presenting evidence of Combs' alleged control, drug use, and the alleged mechanisms of his criminal enterprise. Further, putting everything in order from previous testimonies from Cassie, her mother, and other alleged victims. Okay? Now, let me just see if I said the right definition for that word right there. Hold on. Let me check this real quick. So that is a summary, guys. Let me just check this real quick. And now we're going to go into some of the things that were said and things like that in the courtroom. Hold on, let me check something real quick first. I want to make sure I gave y'all the right definition when I did not say the actual word, but I gave you guys the definition of it. I mean, I gave you the meaning of it by how I was using the word. Let me see if that's correct. So give me 1 minute. So let's see. Yeah, it's okay. I did it basically correct. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and break down everything that we heard today in the courtroom. We didn't actually hear it for real, but I'm just saying what we heard them say. Okay. Let me see what Jermaine said first. And then we're gonna go for this damn thing. Okay, let's see. So Jermaine said Kaplan testified that he was promoted to executive assistant to the chairman of Combs Enterprise in 2014. Does this mean all his former staff has been flipped? It'll be interesting to see. His testimony opens the floodgates for pressure on other former staff, bodyguards, assistant drivers, housekeepers, and etc. Some of those are probably coming to testify. That's probably why this trial would be lasting so long. A lot of these ex-employees, they're going to be right up there. Just watch. And they probably made some kind of deal with them as well, so they won't get prosecuted or anything, or charged, or whatever the case is. So this is going to be a trip. They really trying to get this dude, you guys. They really are. So let's see here what we got. So let's start off with this. So they claim that Sean Diddy Combs said something in court today. Okay. They said that he said hold on. His phone be taking all day to load. Let's see. They claim that Sean Diddy Combs breaks silence in court with unsettling forward message. So let's see what that message is. Let's see. So this says court was adjourned for the day. The 55-year-old stated, as reported by People, "I love you all." It's unclear who the message was directed at. However, he allegedly doubled down on the message, stating under his breath, "Yeah, love." Okay. And then they said that Diddy spoke with a woman in the gallery, stating, "Please let Justin know I'm thinking of him." Okay, so that's about his son, his 31-year-old son. They say he was previously seen expressing affection during a May 13 court appearance, making a heart gesture with his hands as he made his way to his seat at the defense table. So that's what they said he did, I guess, today. Again, he said, "I love you all." Okay, so that's the 4 words. All right. And then he said, "Yeah, love." Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. So as we already know, his former assistant had a little nickname for Diddy called Diddy Poppy. Okay, not Poppy, Boppy. Diddy Boppy. Okay, because I guess he was on those drugs all the time. Because I remember, I thought he said that Diddy allegedly, oh y'all, my tongue. I think he said Diddy allegedly took drugs in the daytime and at nighttime, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and look at this right here. You said Diddy's former staff better take these immunity deals, because the feds are going to be like, you're going to talk to us now, or you want to wait till we talk about you in court. You said I would flip. I know. They have probably already went and told these people that, and you know how they do. Probably told them they're going to jail too, or prison or whatever, and they better go ahead and take this little deal and go ahead and, and tell. Period. That's what they probably told them, or else they're going to jail. Let me see. Oh, so they just show the comment. Oh, so this is how you do that, huh? Okay. Okay, so it's coming up on here by itself now. Okay, I was trying to figure out how to put all the message up there on the thing by itself. So I guess it'll come up. Let me see if it comes up. I guess it will once you guys put something down there. Okay. So anyway, let's see here. So like y'all know, the David James is the one who called Diddy Boppy. All right. Remember, he was in charge of keeping his boss' day-to-day schedule in order, and allegedly started out making $70,000 a year. I'll tell you what, Diddy paying pretty good though. $70,000 a year just to be like an assistant, and the other dude got paid $125,000. But he did say that pay wasn't enough to hide how strict the working conditions were there, allegedly. And so he said, listen, David James said, he testified that when he was hired by Diddy and those at his label, an executive allegedly told him, per NBC, this is Mr. Combs' kingdom, and we are all here to serve in it. Okay. And then James alleged that he was threatened to be fired if he was too tired to work for Diddy. What? He also said Diddy was controlling every aspect of Cassie's life, and that she was afraid to leave because of that. Okay? So he's the one who said they called Diddy Boppy. Now, Mr. James also said they had a video, someone to take the videos at the parties, okay? He said, I don't know who he's talking about, but somebody asked him, hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around at the party? I guess that's Diddy. He said, I said, yes. He said, I'm going to keep the video in case I ever need it. Yeah. And then he said, meanie. Okay, so the thing is, I believe that was Diddy telling him that, or either one of Diddy's people. I can't remember because I told you guys about this the other day. So, but what was he doing? But I still ask the question, what was he doing when he was dancing around? Because if you were just dancing around in clothing, right? Excuse me. Why would you be so embarrassed that when Diddy threatened him, well, I don't know if you call it a threat, but when Diddy said what he said, that he was going to keep that video around just in case. I don't know. He did say he took that as a threat too. I don't know why. Why would he take that as a threat if he got on clothing, unless he was dancing around nude or some, and doing some weird stuff. That's the only way I could see him, feeling threatened by that. Because I'm like, if you're not doing anything and you're just basically dancing, who would care if Diddy records that? What are you going to be using it for? I'm not doing anything. So I'm thinking he was doing some weird stuff probably. So, okay, so he was drinking then. He was drinking Sree. He took the ECSTASY. He said he was Diddy bopping. So he said Diddy bopping means, I thought it meant something else. It means I was vibing. So why not just said I was in a vibe? Okay. So he was in there doing other things and just dancing around. That's why he was so threatened when Diddy was like, I'm going to keep, this film just in case. Okay. So he must have been doing a lot in there. He was taking the drugs, and then he probably was doing all types of stuff. And then who knows, he may not even have on his clothing or something. So yeah, he was dancing all around at the party. Don't tell him what he was doing. So he was really concerned about them putting that information, those videos out there. So clearly he was doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing in those videos. Okay, period. Okay, so now let's see what else we got. Okay, let's see here. So we got that. Okay, hold on. Let me see what else I got here, y'all. What is the rest of them? Well, hold on a minute. Let me look on here and see what else we got. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 minute. I forgot to even save this. Shit. Let's see. So let's see. So we already talked about Dawn. Okay, we just talked about her, what she was saying. We're not going to go over every little thing. There's a lot of stuff, okay? Yeah, the George Kaplan did not want to testify before, okay, because he did not want to self-incriminate himself. That's why they gave him that order. So again, he said that Sean Combs spreading his job every month. Okay, that's crazy. Every month. So why continue to work for him if he's spreading you every month? These people act like they had to stay working for Sean Diddy Combs. I mean, come on now. If he's doing all of these things, he's threatening you. He's you see him beating Cassie. You see him, doing drugs all the daggone time. He's being violent, doing the most, acting all arrogant. Not being appreciative, treating you like a weird. I don't know, just treating you bad. Why did these people continue to work for him? Let's see what you said. If the prosecution is going to build their case at this pace, it would take 8 weeks. It wouldn't take 8 weeks. It would take 8 months, right? I agree. So he also said, this Kaplan dude also said when Sean traveled to various destinations such as New York, Miami, Atlanta, Washington, Orlando, he said he would either fly on Combs' private jet with him, or he would fly in advance on a commercial flight to set up Combs' hotel room. And he also had like a corporate card so he could prepare Sean Combs' room too, okay? So Kaplan said he understood that part of his role was to protect Sean Combs' image. He said he understood that Combs would have guests or a female partner join him in the hotel rooms. He said after Combs left a hotel room, Kaplan would enter and pack up Combs' belongings and tidy the place up. He said on one occasion, he cleaned up a brown crystallized powder off a countertop. So what is that? A brown crystallized powder. What is that? And he also further testified again that he picked up drugs for Combs with cash that Combs gave him. Once in Miami, once in LA, And he said one time he picked up MDMA, and the other time he did not know what substance it was. Okay, and he's going to continue testifying later on today with direct examination. Okay, so let's see here. So anyway, the Homeland Security special agent Jared Gannon, he continued to testify today. Let's see. Now, while he was testifying, the jury saw photos of ex-toy in a pair of red high-heel shoes that Gannon said were found in a master bedroom closet in that home. He also had about 18 pairs of platform high heels, and 3 cell phones were also found. Other pictures the jury saw included boxes filled with bottles of baby oil and personal lubricant. 25 bottles of baby oil and 31 bottles of lube were found in that closet, according to Gannon. He also said he found other items, which I already told you guys about that. And that search was tied to a human trafficking investigation. And then he also found a Gucci bag with an assortment of PILLS, white powder, and a crystal rock-like substance. And that tested positive for the, cold, you know what I'm talking about, and ketamine. And then they also found traces of MDMA in for alprazolam. I guess that's how you say that, or alprazolam. Okay. So while Gannon was on the witness stand, he held up an evidence bag filled with the bullets recovered from a loaded 45 hand, found in what he called a guard shack. Okay. So then it's like, let's see who she was. The psychologist testified, and I'm not going to read all of her stuff because she has a lot, but I did summarize what she was talking about a few minutes ago. Okay. So let's see what else they got here. So we already went over David James. Let's see what else we got. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure. So let's see what he said right here. So Hayes said, Sree Hayes, that's the dude. I think that's the dude, the male escort, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Punisher. I think that's him. So he said all of this yesterday. Let me make sure that's the Punisher. He's a male escort. Yeah. I think that's the same dude. I'm not sure. But anyway, Sree said he did not see no sense of discomfort from Cassie. Okay. He said he did not get any cues that there was a discomfort. Okay. And this is under cross-examination. He did not see her have any type of discomfort with what was going on. He said, as in exotic dancer, he always read the room to, make sure that everybody in the audience is comfortable. He said he never saw any films, he said he never saw any filming or violence. Okay. He also said he never used the D things with Cassie or Combs. He said they did sometimes offer him alcohol and weed, but he never saw Combs take the drugs or appear to be intoxicated. Now, Hayes did say he did take medications to help his performance. Okay. And he said he did that because he felt uncomfortable when he was engaged in a certain extra scenario with a woman's partner present. So he did not feel right that Combs was there, okay, because he was there. That's weird. So he said his last session with Cassie and Combs was in 2016 when he failed to perform and was never called back. Hayes said before he left, he testified that Cassie paid him and thanked him for his discretion with their interactions. Okay. So he said he didn't see anything. Okay, no violence. He didn't see Sean taking anything. He said he did not. But if he didn't see Sean take anything, why did he have to stress that he didn't take any drugs with him? Why did he have to say that if he never seen them take anything? Did he see any drugs around? Because why would he make that statement saying that he did not take any the D stuff with him or drink alcohol or anything when he just said that he never seen Combs take the drugs? Okay, let me see, where did he say that at? Yeah, he said he never used drugs with Combs or Cassie. But he did say they sometimes offered him alcohol and weed, but he never saw Combs take drugs or appear to be intoxicated. Okay, so that's what he said. Okay, let's see what else here. So that's all they have right here. Let's see if I missed anything. I'm still trying to figure out how is this going to be, this entire thing. They honestly must have a whole bunch of witnesses. So Kid Cudi was going to appear in court on Wednesday, and so he had to postpone it until tomorrow. And he's going to testify about his relationship with Cassie. Okay. So I think we did cover everything that went on today. Yeah, we talked about everything. Okay, so that's everything we went over today in court. So what do you guys think? I don't know what to think, because like I'm saying, this seems like a domestic violence case. It really does. Even the witnesses, when they're up there, it's more focused on, in my opinion, it's more focused on Cassie and the alleged abuse that she, went through while dating him. That's what it seems like this is all about. So let's see what you said. You said if the prosecution is going to build their case at this pace, it would take 8 weeks. It wouldn't take 8 weeks. It would take 8 months. And then you said under questioning, hey, Tony Vance, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? You said under questioning, Gannon acknowledged that some fire, were taped up, unloaded, or inoperative. Yeah, I remember that's what he said. That's what I just read. So, again, this just almost sounds like this thing just going out on a witch hunt for real. Because, this is crazy. You say he also conceded that GUNs without serial numbers are not necessarily untraceable, as other forensic methods like fingerprints and DNA can be used. Right. This case, y'all, is crazy. I'm going to just tell you guys right on. I'm going to tell you guys from the start that it's crazy. Again, I'm just trying to figure out how they will tie in the charges, how they will provide proof of him doing X trafficking, all the other stuff. The coercion. I don't know. It may be proven. I don't know for sure. Extortion. It's just. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see all of these charges being. Him being convicted on all of these charges. Period. I just don't see it. It's a lot of weirdness. It seems like they're more concentrating on domestic violence more than anything. And I guess that's why it's going to last between 6 to 8 weeks. I think that's what they said, because they're trying their best, to convict Sean Combs on those charges and stuff. So, but you just can't convict people if you don't have no real proof, though. That's the thing. So it's a trip. Okay. So I think I'm pretty sure I covered everything regarding Sean Combs. I don't think there's anything else. Let me look on TikTok real quick, guys. And I'm not going to share it on the screen. I just want to see what they said about day 4. They're probably going to repeat the same thing I just said. Let's see. Let's see what he said right here.
There may be a dramatic turn in.
We do not want to hear that. Okay.
A gentleman by the name of Gerard Gannon was the lead person from the Homeland Security Special Agent investigation at the home of Sean Combs in Miami. That was in March of 2024. And he testified to what they were able to find in the house. The jurors saw the actual exhibit. So there were times where Mr. Gannon, Special Agent Gannon, was able to open up those plastic bags and show the jurors exactly what was found inside the home of Sean Combs. So more drugs. We've already heard that Sean Combs, from other witnesses, did drugs, had drugs. This is the first time that the jurors were able to really see some of the pictures and then the confirmation from the special agent about what these drugs were. So he described blue pills, black pills, orange pills, pink pills, and many of them testing positive for cocaine, ketamine, MDMA, and other drugs.
The screen broke, didn't it?
Heard more about the drugs and also sex toys. There were a few sex toys that were found inside the bedroom, as well as a total of 18 platform heels. What this is supposed to prove, we will find out.
Hold on. Wait a minute, hold up. This freakazoid got a vaginal speculum in the damn thing. That's what it looks like. I can't show y'all these toys. You guys gonna have to go look at this yourself. What is going on with all this stuff? What is all this stuff used for? Look at this up close. Those are the heels right there. Okay, let's go. Okay, these are heels. Okay, I was going to say. Okay, these are heels right here.
We will find out.
We got them hooker. We got them hooker heels.
In terms of what we've heard, but now the jurors were actually able to visibly see it. Throughout this time, when they're showing these drugs and whatnot, I'm looking at Combs' expression. He's pretty stoic. And then I also noticed that during this testimony, 2 of his sons actually walked in. So we weren't sure if we were going to see family members, any of his children today, but we did see 2 of his sons. A gentleman by the name of Gerard Gannon.
Okay, so she just basically just said the same thing I already talked about. You know, what they found, the high heels, the DRUGS, the lubes, the baby oil, I think I said the pills and things like that. It's a lot of stuff, but I still don't see. I know that picture's a hot ass message. You hear that rap? Okay, I'm gonna have to play it again in a minute, but so you can hear it. But this stuff still, for me, I'm still trying to figure out how are they going to tie this into X trafficking and forced labor and all this other stuff. Because the thing is, $125,000 just to be an assistant, and then the other person was paid $70,000. I don't think they were forced. I really don't, because I'm pretty sure they could have left anytime they wanted to. The one guy, I think that was Kaplan, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember because there's so many. No, not Kaplan. The exotic dancer. He left. Remember? No. He said they fired him. They didn't ask him to come back because he could not perform. And he said the reason why he couldn't perform is because he was not comfortable, with the woman's spouse in the room too. So basically he's saying he wasn't into this, what do you call that, voyeurism or something like that. He wasn't into that type of stuff. And that's why he couldn't get it up. That's not a hot ass mess, but that's why he couldn't get it up. All right, because of that reason. Yeah. And then I don't know. I just don't see it though. I just don't see how they were forced to do their job, especially with Sean paying them the salary that he was paying them. I don't see the forced stuff. But then again, he could have, because we don't see everything. We just don't know for sure. So let's see what else we can hear real quick. Oh man, I just got off the daggone page.
There may be a...
No, let me see what he's talking about, because he's he's talking about Kid Cudi. Listen.
There may be something that happens that will prevent him from testifying.
What's happened?
Well, the new developments in Diddy have to start with evidence that the jury has seen a lot of the evidence that was seized at the Star Island raid of Diddy's home, which is in the Miami area. But what was seized, it is just hard for me to understand how the prosecution is trying to tie this to racketeering. And I think that's where they're going. And I got to tell you, here's some of what they seized. They seized baskets of baby oil.
He just repeated the same thing.
Sex toys, high heels. They seized AR-15s. Well, that gets you somewhere, right? They have magazines with bullets, and some of the serial numbers were scratched out, not on the guns, but on the magazines themselves. So look, racketeering means that there is some kind of a criminal organization that Diddy is running, and that he is engaged in a variety of crimes.
I don't see it, y'all.
And I don't want to just say, think of the mafia, but that is the classic case. But it's got to be a crime organization. Baby oil? Glide?
It's like a
I mean, that's not racketeering. Even AR-15s. There are people who own AR-15s. And in some states, it's not legal, depending on the way they own them. But those are gun charges. That's not racketeering. And that's not interstate commerce of sex workers. So I'm not sure where that's getting prosecutors in the big picture. I just still am having trouble with this concept of racketeering. By the way,
I told you guys.
Cocaine and mushrooms and ketamine.
So that's mushrooms, okay.
State crimes for sure. But a lot of people do cocaine and ketamine and mushrooms. That doesn't mean they're engaged in organized crime. There is a huge leap from saying people have mushrooms, do cocaine, and saying it's all part of an organized crime venture. If Diddy were out selling cocaine as a front for a criminal organization, that's one thing. But that's not what they're alleging here. Okay, so then Dawn Hughes takes the stand. She is a forensic psychologist, and she is essentially talking about Stockholm Syndrome, which is something that really developed in the 90s, where you could have a domestic abuse victim who stays, who endures the beating, and feels as if they've done something wrong, that they can't leave, and maybe they feel they can't leave.
Right.
And this is a whole psychological profile that Dawn Hughes tried to set up for the jury. Frankly, I thought a lot of people knew about this, because obviously what the prosecution is trying to show is that...
I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay, this damn person. Okay, let me finish.
Cassie was in an 11-year relationship with Diddy. And, given the abuse and everything else, why didn't she leave? Well, that was the point of Dawn Hughes getting on the stand, to talk about the fact that there are women who feel trapped, who realistically can't get out.
who keep getting drawn back in. We have somebody in the courtroom, one of our producers, who said the jury was really interested in this testimony. There was a lot of eyebrow raising, and especially with the women, even when the lawyers went to sidebar, they were really interested in what was going on with Dawn Hughes. So it seems like prosecutors may have scored points with Dawn Hughes, especially with some of the jurors, and it seems the female jurors in particular. And this does go to the whole idea of consent, that, if Cassie didn't leave, it seems she consented. Well, Dawn Hughes is there to say, look, just because you stay doesn't mean you consent. So I think the prosecution probably scored some points with her, with some of the jurors. So then George Kaplan takes the stand. George Kaplan is a former assistant of Diddy's from 2013 to 2015. He talked about carrying drugs for Diddy in a Gucci bag, no less. So now we're dealing with two different designer bags of drugs. So carried drugs filled with Gucci bags, would sometimes buy drugs for Diddy, would set up hotel rooms for freak-offs, would then clean up the hotel rooms after the freak-offs. And, that is what he did. And what prosecutors, you're trying to show what? Is that organized crime? I don't see how that's organized crime. I mean, yes, he had an assistant who was facilitating freak-offs. If it's about interstate transportation, that seems kind of irrelevant. If it's about racketeering, I don't see how that's racketeering. I mean, you could make the argument, I suppose, that if some of the sex workers come from out of state and this guy is facilitating all of that, that's part of a criminal venture. That's not what racketeering is typically about. It feels like a stretch at best. And again, I don't see how the jury is going to buy that this is evidence of racketeering. This is an assistant who says he worked, 80 hours a week, and he was worked to the bone and threatened. But he wasn't threatened with physical violence. He threatened his job every month, according to this guy.
This is so crazy.
So, I don't get it. I don't see where that goes. I want to talk about Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi may take the stand tomorrow, and he could be somebody really useful for prosecutors when it comes to racketeering. If Kid Cudi can somehow tie Diddy to the fact that his car was set on fire, and that it essentially blew up. If Kid Cudi has evidence of that, that could be, I think, the best evidence so far in this trial, that this was a criminal organization, that Diddy is sending people out to torch Kid Cudi's car because Diddy was jealous that Kid Cudi is dating Cassie. So I think that that could be real firepower for the prosecution. Problem is this. The defense made a passing comment this morning about hearsay and about Kid Cudi in particular. And what I know the defense is driving at, because this is pretty obvious, is that somebody who testifies about an incident like this has to be what we call in the law a percipient witness, somebody who has firsthand knowledge that I saw him torch my car, or I saw so-and-so torch the car. He told me he did X. That's direct knowledge that is fair game in a trial. If Kid Cudi says, so-and-so told me that this happened, that's classic hearsay. And you can object, and that objection is generally sustained, meaning Kid Cudi can't talk about what somebody told him that he did.
That's hearsay.
That's the problem with hearsay in a criminal trial. And so it sounds to me like the defense is loaded for bear, that if Kid Cudi takes the stand and starts talking about what others said to him, if he doesn't have it directly, you're going to hear an instant objection before Cudi answers, and the jury may never get those answers. I don't know what Kid Cudi knows firsthand, but if it is hearsay, this may be very frustrating for prosecutors. We don't know exactly what it is, and frankly, I'm not even sure the defense knows what Kid Cudi is going to say. But it seems like they're ready to lunge on this hearsay point. Okay, the final thing I want to mention is the Punisher. The Punisher is Sree Hayes. He is the guy who is the exotic dancer who went to the Trump International Hotel, the Essex House in New York, and some other hotels along the way in New York over a period of 3 years, and had sex with Cassie while Diddy watched. He went there initially because he was going to do a dance for Cassie for her birthday with Diddy watching. It turned into sex. They had him there 5 or 6 times a year for 3 years. So I talked to him today on TMZ Live, and I asked him something that I just was baffling me. And I just said, look, I don't understand why the prosecution called you.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I read your testimony, I read the transcript, and I wasn't seeing anything where Diddy pressured Cassie or coerced Cassie or forced Cassie.
I told y'all, that's crazy.
And I don't see where that got the prosecution with your testimony, either on racketeering or even on interstate commerce, because he is from Harlem and all of the encounters were in New York. So there was no interstate commerce, which means the prosecution didn't have jurisdiction to file against Diddy for what he did, because he was all local. He was all New York. So I said, help me out here. I said, I don't get it. I don't understand. And his answer was, neither do I. He said, I don't know why they called me. And he said, as a matter of fact, he said, honestly, I thought my testimony actually helped the defense.
It did.
Because I couldn't really testify to anything about coercion or force or anything like that.
She didn't see anything.
You know, at times she would wince, but I never thought of that as coercion. And so I said, well, did prosecutors tell you why they were calling you? And he said, no. He said, they listened to my story and they called me to the stand and I told my story. And I was surprised, frankly, that he was surprised, because I thought maybe I missed something.
That's crazy.
I did. But he does not understand why he was called. And he actually thinks whatever he said ultimately showed a consensual tryst between him, Cassie, and Diddy. Okay, so tomorrow, Kid Cudi. This could be big for the prosecution, or it could be frustrating, so stay tuned.
A gentleman by the name.
You know, honestly, guys, I mean, that's exactly what I said before. I said, I don't see it. I don't see no ex-trafficking. I definitely don't see the forced labor, because how is that forced? I just don't see anything like that. I just don't. I don't understand why, if they claim they were witnessing so much, you know, why they stood around and kept working for this dude. I don't understand that. You know, the Punisher said that Cassie did not look like she was scared or anything. She looked like she was, you know, she didn't look like she was uncomfortable or anything. She was actually looking like she wanted to be there. So what is this entire trial about, for real? What is going on here? Because I really don't see the ex-trafficking. I don't see the enterprise, you know, the criminal enterprise, you know, that they claim. I don't see that right there, the P word, I almost said it. I just don't see none of that. Like I said, the extortion thing, I don't know for sure, because if that's true, you know, but then again, you know, about the money, the part where Cassie mom said he demanded $20,000 and she put her house up for a second mortgage or whatever the case is. And she paid him the money, but then he returned it back to her a couple of days later. And I'm thinking that's not really, I don't know if you can really consider that extortion, because you can clearly tell he was just messing with her because he was mad at Cassie. Because once him and Cassie got back together in a couple of days, he gave the money back to the mom. But I don't know. It could be extortion. I don't know for sure, But that and domestic violence are the only two things that I really can see. Maybe charges for that, but he's not up there for domestic violence. So I mean, what is this all about? I'm beginning to believe what Jermaine said, because damn, I don't see anything there. Even with these witnesses, all of these witnesses are talking about when they worked for him, what they saw, and about him in those freak-offs. There's so many people. It's a lot of people that be having freak-offs. They just call them different names. Okay, as long as everybody was willing to engage in all these things, and he did not hold somebody against their will or whatever the case is, and he didn't do anything illegal, I don't understand why we are here. For real. It's just plain crazy. Let me ask my thing a little question real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me ask someone quick. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah, this whole entire trial is nonsense, honestly. And I'm just, I can't wait to see all these other people, these other witnesses. Let's see here. This damn thing that wrote up a whole damn book. Hold on. I don't know why I asked this. Let's see. So, according to what I just looked up here, I just wanted to see how it looks for Diddy in this case. Okay. Basically, they gave me some challenges for Combs. Okay. Let's see. And also the prosecution strategy. So let me just read a couple of these things. Okay. So some challenges for Sean Combs is the damaging witness testimonies. The prosecution has presented a series of emotional and detailed testimonies from alleged victims and former employees. Cassie, her 4 days on the stand, detailing alleged physical and sexual abuse, coercion, and freak-offs, and Diddy's alleged threats form the core of the prosecution's case. Cassie's mother, Regina, her testimony about Diddy allegedly extorting $20,000 from her for explicit videos and threatening Cassie and Cuddy is very impactful, especially since the defense declined to cross-examine her. And I wonder why the defense did not cross-examine her. I wonder why. Anyway, former personal assistants David James and George Kaplan, their accounts of Diddy's alleged coercive control, DRUG use, demands for cleanups, ex-marathons, and threats to their jobs paint a picture of a demanding and potentially abusive environment. Now, James' testimony about Cassie feeling trapped and Kaplan's testimony about disposing of DRUGs and baby oil are central to the racketeering claims. Other alleged victims and witnesses' testimony from individuals like the Punisher, aka Sree Hayes, detailing his role in erotic scenes with Cassie while Diddy watched, and Carrie Morgan, Cassie's friend, allegedly physical assaulted by Diddy. It further reinforced the prosecution's narrative of a pattern of abuse. Physical evidence from raids. The Homeland Security investigation agents' testimony about items seized from Diddy's Miami home, including numerous bottles of baby oil and lube, X toys, drugs, the MDMA, the XANAX, the white stuff, and ketamine. And then the fire, you know what? Some with scratched off serial numbers. It supports the prosecution's claims about freak-offs in the alleged criminal activity. Expert testimony. The forensic psychologist, Dr. Dawn Hughes, she provided expert testimony on the dynamics of abusive relationship, coercive control, and why victims might delay reporting abuse. This helps the prosecution put everything, in order and etc. regarding the testimonies of Cassie and other alleged victims, countering potential defense arguments about consent or inconsistencies. That's why they put this psychologist up here, so she could explain, to people why Cassie stayed around, and obviously to make people feel, sorry, and make them think that Cassie didn't have no choice but to stay in that relationship. That's why she was there, and to make you guys get a full understanding how women act when they be in abusive relationships. But I still say, I do believe some things that Cassie say, but I'm still trying to figure out if she got away years later, why couldn't she had left before? Especially, Diddy did give her allowance. She said that on her testimony too, that Diddy gave her an allowance, like I said from the start. So why not save some of that up and then get your butt away around him? You know what I'm saying? But again, I think too, she said she was in love with him. And I believe that's the reason why she probably was going back, back and forth. Because a lot of women do that. So the high stakes, if convicted, Diddy faces serious, obviously penalties, potentially including life in prison, especially given the RICO charges. So Diddy's defense strategy is acknowledging domestic violence, denying ex-trafficking. The defense has adopted a strategy of admitting that Diddy was an extra deviant and acknowledging instances of domestic violence, especially in light of the 2016 hotel video with Cassie, but arguing that his actions, while potentially morally anyway, okay, everything that he was trying to do that they said that was morally wrong and things like that, they said do not constitute ex-trafficking or racketeering as defined by federal law. Okay, so I mean, even this thing that I'm looking at is saying the same thing. They are trying to draw a distinction between domestic violence and criminal enterprise, challenging credibility and consent. The defense has heavily focused on undermining the credibility of the accusers, particularly Cassie. They presented text messages to suggest her willing participation in freak-offs and highlighted alleged inconsistencies in her statements to investigators. They aimed to argue that any extra activity was consensual or that remorse for past consensual acts does not equate to criminal activity. Anyway, you got some questioning motives. The defense has probed the financial aspect of the civil lawsuits and settlements, attempting to suggest that monetary gain might be a motive for the accuser's testimonies, downplaying evidence. They tried to downplay the significance of the seized firearms, suggesting they were legally owned or inoperable, and argue that the HSI raids were over KILL. So the outlook, the trial is ongoing and the prosecution is still presenting its case. While the testimonies against Diddy have been extensive and impactful, the defense is actively working to challenge the prosecution's narrative and introduce reasonable doubt. The jury will ultimately have to weigh the credibility of the witnesses, the presented evidence and the legal argument for both sides. So as we know, the Kid Cudi is the next person in line, okay? And there you go. So again, I don't see any indication of no ex trafficking or some of the other stuff they're charging him with. I don't get it. Just like Harvey didn't get it, and nobody else does. I mean, this is more like, in my opinion, this is more like a domestic violence case. All right. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment below. If you watch this in a replay, and day 9 is tomorrow, and I'll be back tomorrow to let you guys know, give you a recap on day 9. All right. So before we get ready to go, guys, I want to go ahead and give you the latest information on Chris Brown. Okay, let me put this thing up here. Chris Brown, see Breezy in a place to be. Yeah, see Breezy in a place to be, y'all. Let's see. Chris Brown, I think I got his thing up here. I got Tory Lanez still up here. Let's see. So let's take Gene Hackman down and just do this Chris Brown, because this is not. So hold on. So here we go. Here we go. I think I'm on the wrong phone though. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Chris Brown. Let me get the information, y'all. We're doing good with the times. Let me hurry up though. Sorry, y'all. Let me Chris Brown. Let's see, where is this stuff at? Oh, there's one more thing I got to tell you about Diddy, but I'll tell you in a minute. Actually, 2 things I will tell you. So Chris Brown, you guys, was freed on bail, okay, today or yesterday. I think his, let's see, I think it was 6 million or something like 6.5 million. Let me see. So anyway, they did say he can continue with his scheduled international tour this year, including in the UK in June and July as part of his bail conditions. All right. So Brown must pay a $5 million security fee to the court. And it's not dollars, it's £5. I don't know how you said it's pound, 5 million or 5 million pounds. That's how you say it. Security fee to the court, which is a financial guarantee to ensure a defendant returns to court and may be forfeited if they breach bail conditions. Okay. So I think that's 6.5 million in our money. Okay. So like you guys know, he is accused of causing grievous bodily harm to Abraham Diar in February 2023. And Chris Brown did not appear in court for the bail application hearing. Okay. So they did have him surrender his passport if he is not traveling. Brown must live at a specific address known to the court, but is not allowed to visit a nightclub, and he cannot contact, what is the dude's name? Andrew, I believe. I think that's his first name. He cannot contact the victim, okay? And he cannot apply for international travel documents. So like I said, the singer must pay £4 million security fee to secure his release from prison on Wednesday and put forward a further £1 million security within a week, the court heard. He will next appear with his co-defendant, a U.S. national, Omololu Akinolu, 38, at the same court on June the 20th. And Brown and Akinolu have both been charged relating to the assault, which allegedly took place at the tape venue in Hanover Square in Mayfair on February the 19th, 2023. Okay. So he did get his bond. Again, I think they said it was 6.5 million in our money. All right. So I will be keeping you guys abreast of that situation with Chris Brown as well. And we're going to move on. Okay, let me see here. So let me just tell you what Meek Mill. Meek Mill reveals the craziest thing he saw at Diddy's party. Let's see what Mickey Meek is saying. Yeah, I don't see it at all. For real, for real. Okay, let's see. So Meek Mill spoke about Diddy's ongoing criminal trial in some posts on Twitter, X, on Wednesday morning. So in doing so, he did resurface the allegations from Little Rod's lawsuit and revealed the craziest thing he allegedly witnessed at one of Sean Combs' parties. He began in the midst of Diddy on federal trial. I want to bring back up Little Rod in his lawsuit that was dropped. He never said my name, but these blogs amplify that whole agenda against me. My culture don't believe it, but it's an attack on my brand. I want to get to the bottom of it. So then he continued, just to put that on public record. And the craziest thing I seen at Puffy party is the COKE vibes, and that's going on at all these parties. I'm from North Philly. I had millions since I was 23. I don't even want to be addicted to weed. Not judging, but I see it different. Okay. So that's what Meek Mill said, okay? What did he say he saw though? Oh, he saw him doing a lot of drugs. That's what I think he said. Yeah. Okay. That's okay, Meek Mill. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So, Tory Lanez, y'all. Let's talk about him real quick. While we got some time. Hold on, and then Little Dirt. Okay. So Tory Lanez, okay. I forgot. Did I spell his name right? Anyway, his team claims a video proves he did not shoot Megan Thee Stallion, okay? And I don't know what video he's talking about, but he's saying a video proves that. So let's see. So he said next camera footage will exonerate him in the shooting of performer Megan Thee Stallion. So according to documents reviewed by Representative Anna Paulina Luna, Republican Florida, Harris bodyguard Bradley James came forward stating that Harris confessed to being the one who fired the GUN that night in the air 3 times. Linez then pushed her hand down to de-escalate the situation, causing 2 or more gun, to go off. So Linez's team claims the camera footage release corroborates the bodyguard's testimony. So the guard claims he overheard Harris saying to her boyfriend, "How can I not tell on myself? And how am I protected if I tell certain things?" So Megan Thee Stallion, not Megan Thee Stallion, the representative, I'm sorry, you guys. So anyway, Luna says she has evidence to show that Linez did not shoot Megan Thee Stallion, period. Okay. So Luna told News Nation that the footage actually disproves the whole Dance Megan scenario, describing a court testimony where Linez allegedly told Megan to dance before shooting at her feet. Now, like I said before, at a press conference last week, attorney Walter Roberts said Harris' bodyguard overheard her confessing to the SHOOTING. They said Harris fired at Megan 3 times. Mr. Peterson, which is grabbed her arm and knocked her down, and the GUN fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched them. He never fired the GUN. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting. He said there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though an unknown DNA was found on the GUN. Anyway, Luna said she has reached out to the California governor, Gavin Newsom's office, requesting an emergency meeting and is working with Democratic colleagues from California on the issues. She said they actually found 4 people DNA on that firearm. None of them belonged to Tory. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. Goodness. That's crazy. But anyway, if he did not really do that, hopefully he will. His defense attorneys will prove that he is innocent and that he can get himself right up out of that daggone cell. Okay. So let me tell y'all now about little Dirk. Let me see if I can. So anyway, they say he's facing allegations. So let me take Tory down. Let's see if I can find his name on here. I think I still got him. So they say he is facing allegations of threatening witnesses in a murder plot case. Let's see what they're talking about right here. So they claim that he has been accused of threatening witnesses in his murder for hire trial that's scheduled to take place later this year. So prosecutors are claiming that Dirk had threatened witnesses as a reply to his current bid to dismiss the case altogether. Okay, let's see what else they got. So, hold on, let me see where I'm at now. Let's see what it's in. So Dirk is trying to get everything, his team is trying to get everything dismissed, okay? He said that the prosecutors should dismiss the case because lyrics that they selected as evidence against him were recorded a few months before the unaliving of Wando's cousin. So they said Little Dirk will not be going home anytime soon now that his latest bond request has been denied. So U.S. Magistrate Judge Patricia Donahue shot down his bail request and pointed to a report that accused Dirk of breaking phone rules while incarcerated. She said it shows a disrespect for the rules, and that is precisely the court's concern. Okay. But anyway, if he does have a video that shows exactly what happened, he may be getting out. And hopefully he does have some type of proof to back up what he said. Otherwise, he'll still be in there. So let's see here. Let's see if I can. Okay, so the other story I want to tell you guys about, because I want to make sure I covered everything up there, and then we're going to get ready to get out of here. It's about the lady who had her face ripped off by her pet monkey. All right, so we're going to talk about that real quick. Well, let's see. We're going to put that up there like that, okay? Let me find her story real quick, y'all. Also, while we do that, Trump threatens to prosecute Beyonce and 3 other major stars, you guys. And I don't know why. Let's see real quick. Let's see. So he wants to investigate Beyonce, Bruce Springsteen, Bono, and Oprah Winfrey. Okay, and we need to investigate him too, right? So I guess they said that he's accusing Carmela, I must say her name right, Carmela, of paying for her own endorsements. So I guess that's why he wants to prosecute all these people, because he believes that Carmela was paying for her endorsements. I think that's what I just read. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, she was paying for her endorsements, and that's not allowed. So that's why he wants them, if he could, he would have them prosecuted. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So rapper Shine, said how Diddy spent $500,000 on a shopping spree for Cassie in Paris. Let's listen to him talk about that real quick. I guess, because let me see. Hopefully they got the video up here so I'm going to read this stuff. Let's see. So I guess we can play on here.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't
Wait a minute,
kill
y'all. Let me
existing
see.
weeds down to the root. It keeps
Yeah,
working
Trump.
up to months from the first days of spring to the fourth
Trump
day
need to
of
be
July.
investigated.
Roundup Dual Action kills and prevents weeds. Guaranteed. This stuff works.
Okay, that's not it. Damn, this damn thing is not here. Okay, let me just tell you what he spent money on, because I don't see the damn article. I mean, the video. So, according to rapper Shine, he said that Diddy dropped some serious cash on shopping for Cassie in Paris. $500,000, okay? And I don't see the video, but anyway, he spent $500,000 on Cassie on a shopping spree. So that's a lot, man. That's a lot of money. Okay. Shit, 500,000? Come on now. What did she buy? What did she buy? Okay, let's go ahead and keep on moving on. I think I'm trying to look for the lady got her face ripped off, so hold on. I think it's up here, you guys. That's not it right there. Just hold on for 1 second. I may have to just type it in a thing because, man, it's a lot of stuff on my phone. It seems like no matter how much I erase, it's just be more and more stuff. I think it's up here somewhere. Hold on for a second, y'all. Here it is right here. So, Okay, I can show y'all that, but let's see. Y'all is the story yet? I hate when it does this. Hold on. I already read the story, though. I can just tell you exactly what happened. Why did they take this down? Okay, let me type it in here. They're probably lying and shit. Let me just type it in here. Check this off here and type it because I can't pull up the story now. Let me see if I got this right. And it's not this lady right here. Let me go back to I think this is it right here. No, this is the wrong one. Hold on. It's supposed to be about a monkey. Hold on. I got dog up here. I meant to say monkey, y'all. And if I said dog, I meant to say monkey. A lot of people have had their face basically clawed off, okay? But I'm looking at the one. Let me go back to the thing. Hopefully it opens up because I can't find the article unless they was lying. Let's look and see. Let's just never know with these. Hold on, y'all. Let me look and see. I have to find the story again. Hold on. Let's see. I forgot where I just had it at. Okay, let's see. The 500,000 is crazy, man. But he got money to blow, to use like that. They might want to go on a shopping spree for 500,000. Shit, you could do a lot with 500,000, man. You need to put half of it in the bank if you can. He probably told her to spend it all up. Because if you tell them to spend it all up, you don't have to worry about them giving it to anybody, no other dude or anything. I don't know where happened to the damn story. But anyway, I don't know if this is true or not. So allegedly. So this lady had a pet monkey, all right? And I don't know, just for some strange reason, I forgot what she was doing with the monkey. But the monkey started ripping off her face and stuff and everything. And then the monkey started to eat the woman's face. So I think they had to put the monkey to sleep, okay, when they got out there. Because he was just doing too much. I was trying to find the daggone actual story, but I think they took it down. Let's see if it comes open this time. So they didn't want to put the story back up, so it makes me believe that either it's not true or there's some other weirdness that's going on. But like I just told you guys, the monkey basically, I don't know, I just said the monkey just went crazy and started, clawing her face off and stuff. And then the monkey proceeded to try to eat this lady, which is crazy. At least that's what it looked like. Okay? So I don't know why they took the story down, but it was just up there last night. And y'all know if Chris Brown is convicted, he could face, according to the site, up to 16 years over the assault cases. Okay? So I think I did cover everything, guys. And I think we are going to get ready to get out of here. I think I went over everything. Let me make sure. I think I did, though. The Travis and Chip attack. Right, the story. Did you find it? Jermaine, let me type it into the thing real quick. Because the articles I had would not come back up anymore. It's not there. Let's see. I think so. Let me see. I have to read it and see. They had to put that animal to sleep, I believe. No, this is not it. Wait a minute, let me see, make sure. No, this is not the one. It was one that just happened. I don't know what happened to that damn story. Let me put my chimpanzee, that is. Yeah, I don't even see the story anymore. I don't know why they took it down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even see the story. Like I said, it may have been bogus, okay? It could have been bogus, who knows? Because usually when stuff disappears like that's the time I think it is. But if it did happen, you know, my prayers are with this lady, because that damn monkey, chimpanzee or monkey or whatever, it ripped her whole side of her face off. That's what they claim. And I think they said it ripped her part of her ear off and her eye and things like that out of the thing. So I don't know. And the monkey just all of a sudden did this. So I can't find that now. Let's see. But yeah, that's a sad situation. My prayers are with her if she's still alive and stuff. Because that monkey messed her up for real. And then had the nerve to be sitting there trying to eat the lady's face. It's crazy. Okay. So anyway, thanks to everybody over here. Before we go, let me let y'all hear this. Well, no, I'll let y'all hear when we get ready to go. Okay. Or do y'all want to hear before? Okay, let me go ahead and just tell y'all in the bushes. Thank you so much for watching the show. Everybody who watches this in the replay, thank you so much as well. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be, Tony in the place to be. Let's see who else. I think that's it. Tony, Jermaine, myself over here, and everybody in bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoy this content. This is taking a long time to do this. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment as well. And thumbs up. All right, so let's go ahead and get on out of here. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed Thursday and a good night. All this stuff is still up on this thing. And let me put this up here. We're going to switch it. Let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead and put this. Let me turn this music off. Thank you, Jermaine. I'm about to look for that story more in detail because I don't see it up there anymore, but I'm about to look for it. And if y'all hear me chewing this gum, sorry about that. Forget that I'm on this live at times. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. The media music. All right, y'all, I'm about to get off here and let y'all hear this video before we get ready to go. And I'll see y'all later on. Have a blessed day and a blessed night. All right, peace out. And make sure y'all go check out all my other videos as well in my YouTube shorts. All right, thanks, guys. Let's go back over and present. Share screen. Oh, let me.
I'm the dog. I don't know nothing.
Oh my God, sorry y'all. Shit. Let's do it again.
I'm the dog. I don't know nothing. Yeah, it's real clear now. Yeah, Micah say I'm the dog, but you bark for clout. Tail wagging on live, just running your mouth. I don't know nothing. Yeah, that much true. Brain offline every time you hit new. Trying to act slick, but you goofy as hell. Got slogans on loop like a broken spell. Repetitive content, you say it with pride. But bro, no bark, no bite, just hide. You the dog, more like a flea. Jump on trends, then beg for a seat. I don't know nothing. Clearly, bruh, that's your whole brand and your whole shtick, huh? Dog with a mic, but no real sound. Loud online, but quiet when found. Your subs just scroll, your views decay. Whole channel look like a throwaway. Micah in the vids like, look at me cook. But it's burnt ass takes and recycled hooks. Trying to be funny, but it's awkward and dry. That dog act tired, go lay down and cry. You make 10 vids off one small clip, stretch nothing for minutes, man, that ain't it. You say I'm the dog, yeah, mud on a leash. Pacing in circles, praying for peace. I don't know nothing, facts that's deep. Every upload feels like a low effort leap. Clickbait king with no real throne. Live stream talk, but dead when alone. Merch weak, bars weaker. Talk like a beast, but your ego cheaper. Say less, post less, do more, doubt it. Micah, we laugh, now we clowning around it. So keep barking, dog, but this ain't your yard. You bit off more than your weak repping guard. Next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing, yeah, we guessed. Game over. Yeah, we guessed. Yeah. Micah in the viz. New bird, little bird, then you weaker. You next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing. Yeah, we guessed. Game over. Yeah. You the dog, more like the flea. Jump on trends, then beg for a seat. I don't know nothing. Clearly, bro, that's your whole brand and your whole shtick. Dog with a mic, but no real sound. Loud online, but quiet when found. Your subs just scroll, your views decay. Whole channel look like a throwaway. My God in the viv. Look, grind, your grind, and your weak rap. Yeah. Next time you stream, say it with your chest. I don't know nothing. Yeah, we guessed.
All right, y'all. All right. I hope y'all like that. Let me go and put this back up. We are getting ready to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening to that. That's my new song that I put together, with Low. And we jam, y'all. That's to my stalker. You know what I'm saying? Because he like to play games. He like to be doing the most. So I'll be playing this along with the other one that he did for me. And we will be, doing this until he stopped stalking me and being obsessive and everything else he is. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to that damn track. That's a nice ass song, though. He did a good job on that, y'all. I was sitting up here jamming shit. I woke up when that came on. I'm not going to lie because I was up here jamming. All right. So anyway, see y'all later on. Have a good night. Happy and blessed Thursday to you guys. And until the next time we meet, y'all, Shades Tube is out. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. All right. Let me go ahead and put this music back on. This one right here, that is. The one that I always play. This. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm going to take this down.